Hello, I'm Professor Jim O'Reilly from the University of Cincinnati, College of Law and the College of Medicine. I'm going to be talking today about healthcare innovation and particularly what you need to know in dealing with the changes from a typical consumer product development to the regulation and the areas of ancillary health which populate this very, very challenging and dynamic healthcare environment. You need to make sure to cover the important stakeholders and their role in the decisional authority to make products acceptable or unacceptable for your market. You need to also understand that pharmaceuticals, medical devices, diagnostic products, radiologics, and the like are on one side of an informal bright line wall, and on the other side are ancillary health products, typically phone apps and other means of collecting information which don't themselves diagnose and don't themselves treat, but that provide useful information. So what's important to know? What do I need to know about the operating environment? It is, of course, that regulation exists here that doesn't exist so heavily in the consumer product market. I need to understand that the customer base is highly reliant upon professionals as intermediaries, what the law calls the learned intermediary, so that the physician, the surgeon, the nurse practitioner, and the like is involving themselves in the selection process of the product to determine what's the right product. Then separately, the health situation of that particular patient, depending upon their economic status, their age, and the like, may drive Medicare or Medicaid to cover that particular product or not to cover it. So it's crucial to have a decision about the clearance of that product from Medicare or Medicaid, or to be clear that you're not going in that direction. If you're going to have enough of a return on your investment without going through the Medicare, Medicaid approval process, then you're in good shape. You're going to have a strong enough return on investment. If you need reimbursement, you're going to need to think about the Food and Drug Administration, or FDA, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, CMS, and other agencies, such as the guidelines of the Office of Inspector General and the Agency for Healthcare Research and Quality. These federal health-related agencies are a part of the planning environment for a new healthcare product. And again, the new healthcare product would not be subject to all these limitations if you were simply offering it for sale to the average consumer without the kind of health indication that's attributable to a pharmaceutical or medical device. Now let's step back and think that we're selling soap or we're selling widgets. What does my customer expect? My customer expects a product that will deliver on the promises I make for it. So I'm going to keep my promises relatively straightforward, relatively simple, and not overpromise, and God forbid, not underperform what I'm promising. The consumer expectation is going to vary, of course, with the degree to which the professional is involved. The professional may tell me that this product is very, very beneficial, or the professional might say, it's a bunch of malarkey, to use Vice President Biden's term. You don't want to buy a product that's going to waste your money on. You also have to ask the question, because these are health products after all, what if it doesn't help? What happens if the product is going to actually injure people, or if the product's not going to deliver something at a critical time? If the product is very, very fail-safe, if there are more than one safeguard, more than one timing and the like, then that product is probably going to not have the same level of concern of a product that's going to be perhaps a robotic surgical device and the like. So we ask, is there something built into this product that will mitigate the risk of someone getting hurt, or the risk of something going wrong? Is there something built into this product to make sure that there'll be a disclaimer, a limitation, a cautionary warning, and the like? We also have to think globally, but act locally. You've heard that expression a few times. Is this being done in other countries? Is there an equivalent to this in the European Union? Is there an equivalent to this in Japanese culture? If so, great. Let's go and study. Let's find out what works for them and the like. Or is it something truly unique? If it's truly unique, then our patent position is probably going to be of great interest to us, and so we'll first do the patent filings before we get engaged in widely disclosing it in the US. In the climate of government regulation, the opportunity to get money out of the product or monetize it efficiently is critical. We look at the regulation as it is, we compare it to the products that would be ordinarily sold in this space, and say, how do we monetize this? How do we get funding from lenders? How do we get funders from venture capitalists? How do we monetize this sufficiently to get us to the next level of company development? We also ask, who's going to have veto power over this product? If I bring this product to the market tomorrow, is it possible that there'll be someone in the government who doesn't like it? Or perhaps a competitor that triggers the government's investigatory process is going to go after me, going to get the process of veto underway. If it is, I'd like to know in advance what the checks and balances are, how I can push back effectively. That's what I really need to know. Longer term, as I'm developing my product, I'm thinking in terms of how do I stay on the easier side of the path. Ancillary health products, lists and diagrams and the like, that are not themselves used to improve the patient's health or to diagnose the problems of that product, the problems that that product might address. If I have that circumstance, I may do very well. I may do very well from the get-go. On the other hand, it may be a situation where I have to wait, I have to develop further, I have to listen effectively to the customer. All the time, as I listen carefully to that customer's feedback, I'm also thinking, what does the regulator want? When do they want it? And with what degree of certainty should I produce that changed product to meet that consumer expectation? So those are my few random thoughts for today, and I appreciate your time in listening to me. Thank you.